We still have quite some time for the release of the iPhone 16, but we already have all the details about the iPhone 16 series phones. Design, display, camera, internal specs have all been leaked by reliable sources. Major changes coming to the 16 and 16 Pro models. In this video, we'll share everything we know so far and what can we expect in the next iPhone 16 series. It's gonna be really interesting video, so let's get started. First, design. This year, again, unfortunately, there won't be any major redesign to the iPhone 16 series, but we are getting some noticeable finer refinements. Specifically for the budget iPhone 16 model, the camera module is going back to vertical lens design like the one we had in iPhone 12 series. This is because Apple is bringing spatial 3D video recording to the iPhones, and for that the cameras need to be vertically aligned. I would say this is an inspiration from the iPhone 10, which honestly was my favorite design. About the 16 Pro phones, both the 16 Pro and Pro Max are getting slightly bigger. Currently, 15 Pro models are 6.1 inch and 6.7 inch models. The 16 Pro series will be 6.3 inch and 6.9 inch models. Modest increase from current generation. The bezels on the top phones are also getting thinner this year, so the overall dimension would only slightly increase, which is a good thing. The regular 16 and 16 Plus will have the same display sizes as this year. Speaking of the display, the Pro phones are also getting a new display tech called micro lens array technology, which will have higher brightness while being more efficient. This will also help with battery life of the iPhones. Another expected change to the 16 models this year is that they are getting the action button seen on the 15 Pro models. What's interesting is, from the leaks and renders, the 16 and 16 Pro models will be getting a larger action button than what we have today. Current action buttons simply replace the mute switch, which isn't big at all. The new models are getting a longer and wider action button, maybe bigger than the volume button, which will be easier to access. You see, Apple has to differentiate the Pro models from the regular models, else that would impact the Pro model sales. This year, since the regular models are getting action button, Apple is giving another button to the Pro models called the capture button. Today you can see a small cutout on the right side of the iPhone. This is an antenna cutout. Apple is adding a button in its place which will be called the capture button. You can capture photos and videos and maybe even customizable for other actions. Whether it's a capture button or a regular tactile button is not confirmed yet, but more customizable options are always good in my opinion. Next, camera improvements. There are some significant changes coming to the cameras this year, at least for the Pro models. First, Apple might upgrade the 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera to a 48 megapixel ultra-wide. This will use the same pixel binning tech as the main camera, so it will be a significant improvement for low light as well as high resolution. The iPhone 15 Pro has a 3x telephoto lens and the 15 Pro Max has a 5x tetra prism telephoto lens. This is because the smaller iPhone 15 Pro does not have enough space in the camera module to put the tetra prism lens, so only the larger Pro Max got this feature. This year, Apple is making the camera module on all the Pro and Pro Max models larger, significantly larger. This also means Apple has now space on the smaller 16 Pro models to put the tetra prism and hence is getting a 5x telephoto lens as well. I personally am very happy with the 3x lens over the 5x lens, but the market is moving towards longer focal length and Apple is gonna follow that trend anyway. And as every year, Apple will refresh the colors of the iPhones as well. There is not much information about the colors of the iPhone 16 yet, but for the Pro models, Apple is dropping the current titanium blue color and replacing it with sort of rose color. The hue is not exactly known yet, but could be similar to the famous rose gold iPhones which we saw in the past years. Also, the natural titanium and the white titanium colors are slightly changing. They are still grey and white, but natural titanium will be more grey and the white will be more silver white, and the black titanium might stay as is. These are the usual color changes Apple does every year to differentiate, and so far nothing stands out to me. One thing I really wish to see, but no signs yet, is the ProMotion high refresh rate screen on the iPhone 16 models. For a very long time, Apple has been holding off the high refresh rate screens on $1,000 phones. Even the budget Android phones have a high refresh rate display. I really hope Apple brings ProMotion display to the regular 16 models, but unfortunately no signs or leaks of that so far. Okay, those are the big external and design changes coming to the iPhones this year. We have some information on the internal and software changes as well. Let me talk about the software before going to the internals. With iOS 18, Apple is bringing big AI changes to iPhones. First, Siri might get a big revamp. Siri isn't worthy of being called a smart assistant in 2024. Google Assistant, Copilot, and ChatGPT have taken the throne. But with iOS 18, Apple is thinking of bringing some new AI features to Siri. It will be more smarter and more capable than what it is today. Apple is also set to bring more AI features to other parts of iOS as well. Android has AI built into its home screen, photo app, and photo editing, chat assist, etc. Apple is set to bring similar features to compete with those as well. Now, my worry is, will those features be only for iPhone 16 and 16 Pro models, or will they come to the iOS 18 to older models as well? I hope Apple brings at least a subset of features to older phones. Something we'll have to wait and see. Regarding the internal specs, like every year, we'll see a newer, faster, and more efficient A18 Pro processor. Up until iPhone 13 and 13 Pro, both phones had the same chip, the A15 Bionic. Then the iPhone 14 Pro got the A16, while the non-Pro iPhone 14 got the same year-old A15. Now the iPhone 15 Pro has the A17 Pro, while the 15 has A16. I'm not sure if the 16 will get the A17 Pro or the binned version of A17. The RAM is also expected to be an upgrade on all models, which is a good thing. Oh, remember the popular heating issue on the iPhone 15 Pro models? Guess Apple is trying to fix it in hardware this time. They seem to be making some internal thermal improvements to dissipate the heat faster. Samsung, Google, OnePlus have been doing great improvements like vapor chamber for some time now. Apple is just trying to catch up here, but much needed improvement, especially with larger screen and big batteries. Speaking of batteries, the iPhone 16 model will also get a new battery tech called the stacked battery technology. This was initially supposed to come with the iPhone 15 Pro series itself, but seems like only iPhone 16 lineup is getting them. Stacked batteries will be more energy dense, will have a longer lifespan, and will have more capacity in the same size. If that's all true, battery life will get big upgrades starting with iPhone 16 lineup. Not just that, charging experience is also getting an upgrade along with the battery tech. Charging speeds will be up to 40 watts wired and 20 watts MagSafe charging. These are decent bump from 27 watts wired and 15 watts wireless charging now. So fast charging, larger capacity, and longer battery health, all great news for iPhone 16 lineup. Other small but expected upgrades coming include Wi-Fi 7. It isn't clear if the regular model will stick to the Wi-Fi 6E or get the Wi-Fi 7 as well. The Pro models might also be getting a faster 5G modem, specifically the Qualcomm Snapdragon X75 modem. They're supposed to be faster and more efficient with 5G connectivity. The non-Pro 16 models could use slightly less powerful Snapdragon X70 chips, which is what is already being used in iPhone 15 models. Apple is developing its own modem chips, but they are expected probably in 2025. Okay, those were all the known leaks and updates on the iPhone 16. It's still 6 months more for the launch of iPhone 16 lineup in September 2024, but we already have a lot of information. Apple still has enough time to make big changes as well, depending on production and quality of the features. So we'll keep updating when there are any changes or new leaks. So subscribe to not miss out on them. If you like the video, do consider subscribing to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. This is Anjana. Bye-bye.